And we are live again. Hello, hello, hello. Today I'm Julie. I'm filling in for Jen. We have Shalou from the Female Fusion team here as well. And then we have our amazing Fusion Circle member, Dominique Deveraux from the House of Devereaux. Welcome, Dominique. We're so excited that you're here.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Before we jump in, if you have any questions, you can just pop them in the chat and we will display them here. And Dominic and me and Shalou can answer them depending on what the question is. And we are going to jump right in. Dominic, if you could just introduce yourself a little bit. We gave everybody a little bit of a preview of you, but please take it away.
Absolutely. So, as she said, my name is Dominique Deveraux, and I am the proud lead designer and stylist for the House of Devereaux. We specialize in custom-made power suiting and separates for the bold professional redefined, but we also specialize in a variety of styling services, from capsule wardrobe creation to professional and personal branding to virtual styling, which people are really interested in since COVID. But what makes my pieces so unique is that everything is lined with our signature leopard print lining. Not sure if you guys can see it, but it's there. And it's made of genuine Italian silk. So we believe in luxury on the outside and luxury on the inside as well. Additionally, all of our pieces are inspired by powerful women who I know personally, like my grandmother and my older sister, but also women from the silver screen, like Josephine Baker, Diane Carroll, who was the original Dominique Deveraux from the 80s, Jacqueline Kennedy, and Grace Kelly, to name a few. So yes, I've been here in Abu Dhabi for about 6 years, almost 7 years now. But I've been in business for myself for 3 years, but in the industry for 15 plus years. So it's been a variety of
That's
things. Go ahead, I'm
amazing.
sorry.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for this great introduction. And I love those leopard prints. It's so amazing to see. It feels like a little secret weapon, like you're like putting on. I think you mentioned it like armor, right?
Yes, that's what a power suit is. It's your armor to take on and tackle the world.
That's amazing. You mentioned that you are in business yourself right now for 3 years, but you have 15 years of fashion experience. Can you share a little bit of what was the inspiration for you to start a fashion business and also a little bit of the ups and downs of starting a fashion business?
Sure. So, first question. Originally in university, my major was psychology. But I think oftentimes we all have those things that we are good at, but not necessarily our passions. And I had a passion for psychology, but it was kind of viewed to me from my parents as like very straight laced. My mom is in HR, my dad is a hardworking blue collar man, my sister's an accountant, the other one's engineers. So it just kind of made sense for me to go into something, in my parents' words, that makes you some money. So, however, since high school, I was the kid who made my own clothes, who wasn't afraid to like be daring and do things on my own. So when I went off to college, I decided to major in fashion. Against my parents' wishes. But however, by junior year, my mother and father were both totally on board. They saw my commitment to the industry. They saw my commitment to the craft. I'd even started a campus program called Fashionation, and was acknowledged as like one of the top presidents, college campus presidents of my club on campus. So my parents saw my enthusiasm and my passion, and they're like, okay, kid, we'll allow you to give this a go and turn this into a career. And so I took that and started to intern for a lot of different companies. From interning, it led into some positions, mostly management. I believe that I was a rising star, and I had to prove myself. And I was like, listen, I may be the youngest one on the team, but I am fully capable. So from going from interning to management positions to exploring product development, sourcing, buying, I've done probably everything you could think of. But I did it because I felt like it would help me when it came to starting my own business. Working with a lot of different companies, I was able to learn the do's and the don'ts. What worked for them may not work for me, or what worked for them could work for me. So I funneled all that knowledge and experience into my own brand, the House of Devereaux. So yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, it's so good if you just like get out there and you follow your passion and you're not being like sparked into one direction from your parents. I think that is really amazing to see, and it's something I think a lot of women need as an inspiration, that it's okay to follow your passion and to make it work. And I think it's also great to get the experience in big companies, just having a look at how other people are doing it, and then just see like, okay, what do you like about it, what do you not like about it, what is actually working out there, what is maybe not working for them, it might work for you, or this is not working at all. This is
Yeah.
really, really good into getting your own business up. So tell me a little bit about the challenges of starting your very own business after you have been in all the other companies, interning, management positions, doing everything for them, and then all of a sudden you are on your own.
Well, I think I don't think I know when I set out. My major was merchandising and design. So learning the business of fashion, I kind of always told myself that before I died, didn't know when, but before I died, I was going to go into business for myself. However, there was a lot of fear attached to that because you working behind the scenes, you see all of the financial risk that goes into it. You see that if you decide that you want to start a business, you have to, hire employees. That comes with payroll. That comes with other people's livelihoods depending on you. So it was a level of fear attached to that, like, okay, if I don't make it, there are people who are depending on me. So that was a little difficult in the beginning for me to get my mind around because I'm very much an empath and I very much feel people's emotions. And I'm like, no one wants to hear, I'm sorry, I can't pay you this month. So I was just like, I don't know if this is for me, but I knew for a fact I really, really wanted to design. That's where my passion and my heart has always been. And I have a passion for people, especially women. Like I mentioned to you ladies earlier before the call, I come from a household of five women, four sisters and my mother. So I've always been drawn to creating for women, to being around women, to empowering women, and I've been empowered by my mother, who's actually a military woman. So that's a whole other story for a whole other day. But to answer your question, so the struggles have been me coming here, and I didn't come here like most people with a job. People ask me, what brought you to the UAE? And I say, love. My husband was here. We met in graduate school, and relocating here with him, I just thought there was never a job I applied for that I would not get. So when I got here, I hit the ground running. I was like, I'm going to apply for this position, and they're going to love me because everyone in the States love me, and it's going to be great. And that is not what happened at all. So after taking some time, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a blow to the ego, but taking some time, my husband was very supportive, and he said, "Listen, you have worked tirelessly to help other people build their brands, and I think it's time to take attention to yourself." And he told me it's not going to be easy because we're navigating an entirely different world. You're talking about trying to run a business stateside and in the UAE. So there's a lot of logistics that go into it, from the licensing, from the banking, from the actual design standpoint of getting things sourced and logistics. All of those presented to be major struggles. You compound that with COVID, which is when I launched. And for some people, it would have been a recipe for disaster. But for me, I was like, listen, there has not been a challenge in my life that I have not met. And I'm going to give it a go, or die trying if it doesn't work. But so yes, those have been the most challenges. It's just been balancing business in the US as well as in the UAE.
Yes, I mean, like COVID is definitely a challenge that a lot of people had to deal with, and a lot of people can understand. And I think it's kind of like really amazing to see all the companies, all the small businesses that actually made it through COVID and are still thriving, are still there, and all the changes that come with it. You mentioned before that you had a shop before COVID, and then you even had like to rearrange everything when everything shut down. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. So I was a part of, again, back to the power of women. I was a part of what we called a collaborative community called Showroom 808. It was myself and several other female entrepreneurs who came together under the umbrella of Showroom 808. And we showcased all of our brands in a physical storefront. And it was at the helm was a lady named Sheila Hawkins Bucklew, who I honestly looked at as a mentor. She was an incredible businesswoman. She had landed in big accounts with the people like Macy's and things of that nature. So following behind her and learning from her in the process, we all set out to have this incredible opportunity of the showroom. And it came I'd probably say maybe 2 months before COVID happened. So around January 2020, December, late December. Yeah, somewhere around there. But in doing so, we really were pushing hard to try to kind of overcome that hurdle, and not succumb to what COVID, of course, ultimately did to the business. But it did allow me to have an idea of what a storefront could be, how it could look, how I wanted my business to look. If you're in the industry, you understand the difference between a showroom and a boutique. So when I started manifesting how I wanted my designs to be presented and my business to be presented to the world, I always told myself I prefer the aesthetics of a showroom versus a boutique. A boutique, and just to explain the difference. So a boutique is more so like your retail space. They have the merchandising in the window, the beautiful mannequins you stop by, and they have sales. Well, a showroom is more so highlighting the individual designers in a much more curated space. So it's much more intimate and private, and it gives that much more luxury feel. So I told myself that's what I wanted. So it was a match made in heaven between Sheila and I. And while she's gone on to do great things and I've gone on to do great things, we remain in touch. But, things happen like COVID. So.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing everything here with us. As you are aware, as a Fusion Circle member right now, we are doing Personal Branding Month. We are helping all our Fusion Circle member to hone in on their personal branding for their business. Mm-hmm. And as you are a stylist, and also that includes personal branding, let's talk about how much you can influence your professional brand with your personal style.
Absolutely. So in working in brand management, I think a lot of times when people want to start fashion businesses or just any business for any matter, you think, okay, I have this great product or this great service, and if I just show nice pictures of this, that should be enough. No one needs to see who I am. No one needs to know the face behind the brand because my products are cool enough or my service is cool enough, it'll sell itself. And while that would be ideal for all of us to feel that way, especially if you're introverted, that's not the reality of the world. The world is very much built around storytelling and identity building, and they need someone behind the brand. And some people opt to do like spokespersons, and they opt to get like celebrities and things. But in the beginning, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have the budget for that, or you don't want to go that route. So who better to sell your brand than you? And so when it comes down to that, I feel like personal branding is important because you need to have an understanding of who you are personally, but also professionally. So I'll give my business as an example. Knowing that I have a love for power suits, and when people come to me and they ask me, why did you get into the business? I make it as personal as possible. One, I'm anemic. I always have a jacket. I've always worn a jacket. If you go back, way back to probably high school, I was the kid with like a jacket. It started whatever it was because I was anemic, for one. And for two, to me, a jacket is the finishing accessory to any outfit. I feel like it completes it. If you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, you throw a jacket on, a nice blazer on, it's like that one finishing, lasting accessory. So I felt like if I'm going to go out in the world and I'm going to sell these pieces, I have to believe in what I'm selling. And personal branding is that attachment to your brand. And I'll give an example of a service. Say, for instance, you're selling insurance, and you have an idea of starting there's a lady I actually met at the UN women's event with Jen a while back. And the way that she really sold herself with personal branding was really spot on. She let us know that, like, I'm here to assist the entrepreneurs, but I also use the insurance that I'm selling. So I think you have to always bring it right back around to who you are and tie it into what your business is. So when it comes to me with my personal branding and styling, infusing the two, I want you to feel like when we're in a session, I'm not trying to change you into being somebody else. I don't believe in the whole idea of like fake it till you make it. No, we need to figure out who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, right now in the present. And if you want to evolve into something else, that's different. But completely changing or morphing into being this, I hate to say it, like influencer society. Nothing wrong with influencers, but I mean it in the sense of like, if that's not who you are or innate to you, it's not going to work for your business because it's not true to who you are. So when I say fusing your personal style with your professional style, I want to combine the two, not recreate somebody completely different. Because then
Yeah,
people can read through the fraud, the fake. They know when it's not authentic, and I think people respond to authenticity.
like we don't want to create an alter ego where you're like completely disconnected with the person that you are in business and the person that you are in your personal life. It should ideally like be connected in some ways.
Right. I agree.
I have one last question before I hand over to Shalou, who is waiting so patiently here while I ask like all the
interested
questions
in
that are
everything
coming
you're
up in my
saying.
head. I read on your website, I think leopard is neutral and leopard is a color. And I mean, like you have it in all your power suits. I see it in the back on the mannequin. So like, so definitely tell me a little bit about that and how that has influenced your branding.
Absolutely. So, what I love about leopard print is that not only is it feminine, now don't get me wrong, I design for guys, and the men I design for still want the leopard print lining. I think what it is that it's not only it's tapping into femininity, but also it's a feline, it's a wildcat. It's very ferocious. So it gives that dichotomy of both sides. And that's from, it being an actual animal. But from a styling standpoint, a leopard print is just a blend of several neutral tones. You have the light brown, you have the cream, you have the deep brown, all the hues coming together. And typically when you get dressed or you go shopping and people say, pick out a neutral, you go for black and it has black in it. You go for black or you go for cream or you go for brown or you go for light brown. Leopard is just a fusion of all those things together. And if they all work together, then they can work and be attached to a bold color. So I felt like people need to understand leopard is a neutral. And yes, it is a color. And I'm attracted to it because I just like fabulous things. And to me, leopard print is just fabulous. In addition to that, my grandmother, Josephine, who I actually created a design based around, she used to wear the print as well. I have a beautiful picture up here in my studio. And it's just this gorgeous kind of like leopard chiffon top that she wore. And we're talking like that photo is dated back to like 1993. So when people say, oh, leopard print is trendy, no, it's not. I actually visited the Dior Gallery Museum this past Eid. And in the retrospect, back in I want to say 19, I might be getting the date right, 1949 or 1951. But the very first Dior trench coat was made from leopard print. So people, this is here to stay. It comes in, it comes out. It's like fashion history. It comes in and it comes out, but leopard is here to stay.
Oh my God, you definitely inspired me now to get a leopard print, anything with leopard print, because I love it because I so often just take black because it's convenient. It like fits with everything. It goes along with everything. You don't have to worry about getting new shoes or new handbags or new accessories because it just like goes along with everything. But I never thought about leopard print like that. Thank you so much, Dominique, for opening up our eyes about leopard print, about personal branding, about your amazing power suits and the struggles with starting a fashion business. And now I'm handing over to Shalou.
Hello. I just love your energy, Dominique. Every time I talk to you, every time, even we were just saying before that when you first joined the Fusion Circle, you joined a lot of online events. And a lot of the online masterclasses and a lot of the online sessions, and even on those as well, your energy is just I've just sat here the whole session being like, huh? Honestly, amazing. So I want to ask you a few questions, not very many, a few questions just about the Fusion Circle and how it has what it's done for you and your business. So what do you feel like the Fusion Circle has brought you personally and in your business?
So I'll say personally, and like a lot of women, I joined the larger group first. And as I started to kind of dive in and try to connect virtual with other people that route, it was a massive group. And if you think about it from a business standpoint, people are like, oh, I should go to this group because it's 20,000 strong and the reach is going to be incredible. But if you think about it, you're really diving into a big pool amongst other people who are maybe in the same industry as you. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a believer of anyone in my industry, us working together and collaborating. And I feel like when it comes to competition, there is no competition. I am my person. You are your person. We all contribute in our way to the industry. However, what I loved about the circle was that it's much more curated. It's a small group. It's people who I will say are maybe have a slight more commitment to the overall idea of entrepreneurship. And so they decided to dive in and make that investment in themselves. So when you kind of put you drop your what do you call it? Drop your name in the hat per se. It's much easier for somebody to just pull your name out because they know this is who she is, this is what she does, she's attached to it. You combine that with the directory, which is so cool. I mean, you ladies did an awesome job creating that entire dashboard. It gives you access to things about finance, things about branding, things about upcoming events. Like it's just curated so nicely and so organized. And anybody who meets me and works with me knows that I'm a planner. I am like, even though I'm like, I can see very like hyperactive and I am very much planner. And that thing is planned to the T. I love it. I can just go in, I can click, I get the information, I get the immediacy of the confirmation for the events. It's just very streamlined and it speaks to who I am as an entrepreneur. So that's why I felt like the circle was a much more benefit to me than the larger group. I still go into the larger group because you meet a lot of cool people there. I love it. Not a problem. But I feel like the circle is just much more intimate and I like that vibe. So.
Yeah. And how do you feel like has any like with the community, like so we're now over 700 members, how do you feel that the community is? Have they helped you at all? What do you feel like the vibe is in the community, the Fusion Circle community?
The vibe has been awesome. First, let me say that I come from Abu Dhabi. So I already make the drive up to meet clients in Dubai. I do have clients in Dubai, but anytime you get on Sheikh Zayed Road, you got to have a purpose. Okay. So I initially met Jen and a few of the other ladies, Maya, and there were a few other women that I met at the UN Women's event towards the end of Expo. Now, at this time, I had not yet joined the circle, but when I got there, everyone was so warm, so kind. And the fact that they already knew each other, but it wasn't like it wasn't cliquish. It wasn't like a very much like, oh, you can't sit with us. Like, like none of that. And everybody was just so warm and open to meeting and connecting with other women. Additionally, there was one woman who had been on my list to meet since COVID, the incredible Mo Morris. And I was
yes.
At some point, I have to meet this woman. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how it's going to happen because I'm here and she is there. And I'm sitting in the back of the event and in floats Mo with this beautiful black and white, like almost like caftan piece. And I said, that's her. I must meet her after today. And we just hit it off. Like, I just loved her vibe. I loved all the other women's vibes. It just made it easier. So in talking to Mo, so I think credit has to go a lot to Mo and Jen. And talking to Mo, she convinced me that the Fusion Circle was something for me to be a part of. And I actually talked to Jen that same day. And I said, Jen, well, I'm a little concerned because I'm in Abu Dhabi and you girls do everything in Dubai. And Jen being the killer saleswoman she is, she was like, oh, but we're in South Dubai. Oh, but we're not that far. Oh, but wait.
And now we're in Abu Dhabi.
Yes. She was like, oh, but no, wait, we're planning on coming to Abu Dhabi. Like any excuse I had, Jen wasn't going for it. She wasn't going for it. And I love that. That's commitment to what you created. That's passion to what you created. And it just made me feel more comfortable about not only meeting you ladies here, but also going forward and going up to Dubai for all the other events. So yeah.
So you were joined us for the online events, and then you joined us. I think your first event was the Coffee Connect in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
That time. That was a lovely, lovely event. There was about, I think it was around 30 ladies, our first event in Abu Dhabi, Coffee Connect. And then you came up Sheikh Zayed Road.
Yes.
And you came to FF Talks with Olivia Manor from Hello Chef, and who is another inspirational entrepreneur, lovely lady. And you had a showcase stall. So you brought your samples up, you brought your designs up, and you set up the stall in FF Talks. How was that? How did you find the in-person event?
I loved it. First, I'm big on visuals. Like my background again is merchandising. So I am big on aesthetic. I am like the girl who's like, when everybody else is looking at things and they're like in the shop looking at clothes, I'm like, look at that lamp. Look how they built this out. Look how gorgeous this is. So when you girls said blah blah, I got online and I started Googling. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
lovely space.
Oh, the space. Oh, yes. Showcase style for the space. So that was one awesome selling point. Secondly, it was the way that it was just really set up. There were a variety of businesses, all of us, and even some other women in fashion. So it felt really great to talk to them. I think, and I'm so sorry if I'm getting her name wrong. She had the beautiful pieces that were made from vegan fabrics. Oh my gosh, I think it was Amelia.
Oh yeah, Amelia. Yeah.
Amelia Altman.
Yes, beautiful pieces by her. The other woman who had energy fashion. Even though we were all in the same category, we were all doing different things. And everyone came by each other's stand, spoke to each other, communicated with each other. I ran into an old friend, Yulia, who also just started her own business and her own brand. So it was just really cool to be in a space of women who just kind of feel like get you. I feel like oftentimes when you're an entrepreneur, you talk to family, you talk to friends, and they're excited for you, but they don't necessarily really understand what it is that you're doing. They're just like, you're passionate and you make money. Good for you. All right. Like, but the circle understands the nuances behind the struggles that I've had, the wins that I've had, the losses I've had, the successes I've had, like just the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of business. So the showcase style was so well done. The food was great. The staff was great. It made my drive to Dubai that much easier. Not to mention, I got to JBR in record timing. I hit no traffic. It was just like the most perfect day ever. So yes, I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And it's amazing the showcase stalls to see everyone set up and just to be able to see the products, touch your products, talk to the person whose brand it is. So my mum and dad were actually visiting at the time, and they came before the event and they were sitting there, and you walked in the small, I think you had small check and the check blazer on, and they were like, who's that fashionable woman? And then you had your shoe, like yours, as you said, the aesthetics of it, just the way that it was set up. It was just fabulous. Even when I came home, my mum was like, how's that lady? Her stall was just absolutely amazing and her suits were fabulous. So yeah.
Thank you, Mama Shalu and Papa Shalu.
I know, they've gone back to the UK now, so they'll be telling everyone at home, back at home as well. Finally, I think to wrap up, any advice you would give anyone who might be thinking about joining the Fusion Circle?
I have said this before. I will say it again. It is all about investment of time into yourself. Yeah. People say stuff like, I don't want to pay for certain things, but you need to consider the fact of we go to brunches, we go to ladies' nights, we do all afternoon teas if that's not your thing. You will spend money at other little places that will give you temporary satisfaction. It's temporary, it's nice for the moment, and I love all those things. However, this small investment into your business, into the growth and the community that you get from it is well worth it. Like I am very particular about where I put my coin, whether it's 1 dirham or 10,000 dirhams. And so I feel like if you're going to be serious about your business and take it seriously, even if you're just a hobbyist and you're someone who wants to grow it, but if you're going to truly grow, there has to be some level of financial investment and commitment. And it's one thing when someone is kind of coming at you from the angle of, okay, pay me, and you see no benefits from it. I saw immediate benefit from Fusion Circle. And I mean down to the master classes. What you ladies are offering. Even from the Ramadan sessions were incredible. And I think maybe it's because I have a background in branding and I have a background in this, that I know the cost of what we were actually getting per professional that was speaking to us. I was like, a session with her is easily $3,000. A session with her is easily $7,000. A session with her, and you're getting all of this encompassed in these master classes that you can go and play back for yourself and revisit and reach out to them, to them and have a quick conversation. But again, also pay these entrepreneurs for their services, ladies. Like, that's how we all grow and we all build. But the Fusion Circle has been such an awesome resource for me. So if you were considering it, why are you waiting? You need to join.
I feel like we should hire you as well. You can come. You come in. You come in. Come on board. But yeah, on that note, I remember one session, one of the first ones. I think you were out at the time, and you still logged in live though. I think maybe you were getting your nails.
I was at the nail salon.
You're getting your nails done in the salon, and you're like, I can't put the camera on, but I'm listening to you. But I'm in the salon, and that's a great thing about it. Like, you can log in live from getting your nails done, or you can be on a flight during the summer.
Yes.
You can be rewatching the master classes. And if you're working on your business during the summer, then like you don't just get the sessions from when you join, you get the sessions from all the way back.
Yes.
From the very beginning as well. So yeah, definitely what you've said really does sum it up really well. But I wanted to say a massive thank you to Dominique, because
thank you for having me.
It's just every time I talk to you, it's just a really interesting conversation, and I'm sure Julie agrees as well.
Thank you.
It was amazing. It was so great to hear. Let us just like quickly have a look at the comments because I just see them popping up. We have somebody says, I love your energy. Well, we already established that. We all love your energy.
Thank you.
Sarah Sal on LinkedIn said, hi, Dominique, loving your personality. What were they even thinking? I think that was about your parents. Sorry. Love Dominique already from Reem. And then we have one question from Reem Alkashin on Facebook. I have a 7-year-old daughter who's passionate about pursuing the same exact route as yours. However, it's a struggle finding an internship for her to gain some experience in the fashion merchandising and branding field. What's your advice to her and how to go about landing the right interning fit for her in Dubai?
Ooh, I would definitely say see where her interest actually lies, because people assume that fashion is just the design side. She may be creative and want to do like photography, or she may want to dive into makeup artistry or creative direction, which is a completely separate thing from design. So there are a few events that I see that people start to host around town, and they're not like, closed off at like clubs where alcohol things are being served. I'm pretty sure that children can attend, but I think it'd be really awesome to just take her to some of those events and let her see physically representation of women doing these kinds of things. And most of those events I think are free. There was one in particular that was around sustainable fashion. I think a couple of weeks ago, I could be wrong, but I saw it in some of the magazines. I think it may have been Time Out, I think. But I say that to say that there are a lot of things in the community that she can go to. Also, there are events like Fashion Forward that used to happen in Dubai. There's not Arab Fashion Week. There's another one where they host seminars in conjunction with the fashion shows. So her going to the actual shows and seeing how the shows are ran, maybe even reaching out to some of what they call stage runners and seeing if she can get like a behind the scenes access, just letting them know, hey, this is my daughter. I will be with her. If you don't mind, can she just stand in the back and observe and see what is going on? I will remain with her. I'm sorry.
Did I say she's 7? I'm sorry. She's 17. I just
no, you said 7. That's why. I was like,
early in the morning.
Nurture her early. It's okay. Let it nurture her early.
It's the same thing for the 7 and the 17-year-old. So like we have the tips and tricks for the 7-year-old now. So let's jump.
Gotcha. Okay, well, yes, no, if she's 17,
I'm so
that's
sorry.
even better. That's even better. No, she can actually go to the events herself then. And if you'd like to make contact with me afterwards, I can send you some links. Is it Reem?
It's Reem Al-Kashin on Facebook. So you will be later. We can send you the link to the Facebook video, and then you can connect with her in the comments.
I have no problem with sending you all the different events that I attend that she is of age to attend at 17, and she can really meet some really, really cool people there that she can connect with. But yeah, internships are there are a lot actually around town. And if she's interested, there are a few schools that she can attend if that's really true to the route she wants to take. What I would say on the school route though, Mom, is do the research. A lot of people are popping up with these fashion institutes and they're creating these fashion programs, and they're either not accredited or they really don't teach a lot of what she will need to know to survive and thrive in the industry.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dominique. Shalou, any last words from you?
No, just thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Dominique. It's interesting as always. And I still need to come down and order my power suit of you. I say every time I meet you, but I really do need to come and order one for my next photo shoot.
I'll be here just for you, Shalou. No.
Yeah, yay.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we see you online and in person. Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.